Andrea here from Powerhouse Science Center. I'm at home in my backyard collecting leaves for our next Try It Science video. For today's experiment, you will need a bright sunny day, so make sure that we have the sun outside. You will also need leaves. Make sure they're freshly picked like I just did from my garden. They have to be alive, so use them as soon as you pick them. You will also need a clear glass or plastic bowl. I have a bowl. You can also use a baking dish like I have right here. Make sure they're big enough so the leaf would fit in. You also need these little rocks. You need some water. And if you do have a magnifying glass, you may use it. If not, it's perfectly fine. In today's experiment, we're going to talk about living things, mainly humans and plants. Now, I'm alive, you are alive, and as living humans, we need to breathe. We take in air, our body uses up oxygen, and we breathe out, and our bodies release carbon dioxide. We do that through our nose. Now, plants are also alive. So, do plants breathe? Now, let's get a closer look at this leaf. Let's zoom in even closer to our eyes, and I don't see a nose. So, do plants breathe? And that is what our experiment is all about. So the first thing I am going to do is, I'm going to take my leaf, I'm going to use 2 leaves, and that's why I have this big baking dish. And then I'm going to cover it with water. Make sure my leaves are under water. I'm going to submerge them. Right, get my towel. And then I'm going to take a rock and I'm going to put it over the leaf to make sure my leaf has water over it. All right, I'm going to need some more water. All right, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tray and I'm going to put it outside in a sunny place for a few hours. So let's talk about what we saw outside. So you probably saw that on the surface of the leaves there were air bubbles. So what's going on? The easiest way to imagine what's happening is to think about what you do. When you're at a swimming pool, you're standing just before you dive into the pool, you hold your breath and you jump in. And then what happens when you release your breath? You see those air bubbles rise to the surface. And that's exactly what's happening with those leaves underwater. Now, when those leaves are out there in the sunlight, they use sun to make their own food in a process called photosynthesis. Now, during photosynthesis, plants will take in carbon dioxide and then they make their food and they give out oxygen. But where do they do that from? We don't see a nose on these leaves right here. Plants do have special openings called stomata. Most of them are on the bottom of the leaves. Tiny openings that we cannot see with our eyes. So it is through those openings that they take in carbon dioxide, which just happens to be what we give out. Our waste they take in. They make their food and they give out oxygen, which is what we need to stay alive. So if we didn't have plants, we wouldn't be alive. And that is why we need to plant more trees. So you can see that plants do breathe, but they breathe very differently from the way we do. We have our nose, we have lungs. All they have are these little openings called stomata. So I'd like you to try this experiment out. And if you like it, if you like this video, go ahead and share it. And you can send me pictures of the results from your experiments. So this is Andrea saying goodbye, stay safe, and I'll see you next time with another Try It Science video. Goodbye.